construction of 103 kilometers stretch. This multi-million-dollar beach resort you are watching right now, belonging to an Igbo man in Lagos, is about to be demolished by Lagos state government. Business mogul and real estate developer Paul Onwanibe has cried out over the planned demolition of his landmark beach resort by the Lagos state government. Onwanibe, who was born in the United Kingdom, says he shut down his investments abroad in 2007 to focus on ventures in Africa due to the continent's economic prospects. The Landmark Group CEO said receiving a 7-day demolition notice of his property felt like it was an April Fool that came early. The state government had written the 58-year-old in a letter dated March 19, 2024, signed by the Deputy Director, Development Matters Department, TPL Shomolu, on behalf of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, on plans to demolish his property to make way for the coastal highway construction of a 103-kilometer stretch of the 700 kilometers Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway by the Federal Ministry of Works, in collaboration with Lagos State Government. The sections of the property billed for demolition are the Beach Resort, Kids and Bay Arena, Members Area and Lagos Beach Club, which the state government claims falls within the right-of-way of the proposed road project by 50 meters. Approval for the new coastal road was given on February 27 by the federal government. When completed, it is expected to enter the world record books among iconic coastal routes like the Wild Atlantic Highway in Ireland and the Pacific Coastal Highway in the United States. The first part of the 1.06 trillion naira highway will be built on Victoria Island. The superhighway will run through a total of 9 coastal states in Nigeria and will have 5 lanes on each side of the dual carriageway and a train track in the middle, as well as spurs linking up with northern Nigeria. Onwanibe said he acquired the land in 2007 before the plans for the coastal highway were drawn up. He commended the planned coastal project for connecting vital regions of the country, but feared it came at a steep cost for tourism in Lagos and posed a threat to foreign direct investment into the country if Landmark Beach is eventually torn down. We have spent between $80 and $90 million developing this ecosystem, and 1/3 of that was spent on the beach. So, all that, which we are still paying loans on, will disappear, he said. Onwanibe said foreign and local investors in Landmark Group were now threatening to pull out if the beach resort, which includes a mini golf course, a beach soccer field as well as a volleyball and basketball court, is removed. Without the beach, the entire ecosystem is at risk and is severely damaged. I have had widespread panic calls from my international and local investors, as well as local debt providers, threatening to pull the plug as they think this is material to our survival as a business, he added. The beach resort, which is valued at over $200 million, is home to over 80 businesses and provides more than 4,000 direct jobs. It also generates over 2 billion naira, $1.5 million, in annual tax revenue. A key player in Nigeria's tourism and hospitality industries, the 13-hectare leisure beach of his Landmark Group plc along the Atlantic Ocean beachfront was listed among Nigeria's best 7 beaches in 2023 by the Lonely Planet Travel Guide. It is a top-tier destination visited by about 1 million local and foreign visitors. It is no longer hidden nor confusing to every Igbo man and woman confessing to have reached the climax that Nigeria is not for Igbo people. It is also not a thing to shy away concerning how on daily basis, yearly basis and continuously are Igbo people deeply hated, subjugated, dehumanized, segregated and demonized by the rest of those who shout one Nigeria when the national cakes are coming out from the east, but point accusing fingers on Igbo people when the dot in a circle breathes. To many of us, it is not perplexing nor cumbersome to understand why, and the factors responsible for the enormous hatred on the Igbo man. However, it is even conspicuous to our international neighbors that unity beggars lack the prerequisites to lead the way, just as the industrious Igbo man strives against all odds. Alas, since they can't beat the Igbo spirit to submission, they resort to despicable hate speeches and actions on anything Igbo, just to massage their faint ego. Just take a look at this multi-million-dollar beach resort. How can a sensible government destroy such huge investment that pays billions in tax to the government every year, employs thousands of people, and attracts tourists from around the world, if not for hatred and jealousy? The question is, why does it always have to be an Igbo man? Day after day, it becomes even more clearer that Nigeria is not for the Igbos. With everything that is unfolding right now, many people are coming to terms with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's age-long position that unity is not achieved by coercion or persuasion. Referendum offers a lasting solution to such situation where two or more parties can no longer agree or coexist. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw far beyond what mere mortals could fathom. Hence, their timely emergence in the scheme of things on behalf of the collective interests of the Igbo nation. Therefore, Biafrans, it is time to embolden our resolves, fasten our belts and buckle our combat boots to defend our collective interests against parasitic aggressors, neo-colonial enablers whose aim is to bring our indefatigable spirit to servitude. We must break loose the jinx and show them why we remain Igbo in body, spirit and soul forever. Please note, the video of this multi-million-dollar beach resort you are watching was made 3 years ago, when it was all rosy. It is meant to show you exactly what Lagos state government is about to demolish. Stay tuned.
Today is Tayo. Hello guys, how are you doing today? It's Tayo I know here again, and I'm currently on the beach in Lagos, Nigeria. And I didn't come here to chill, I came here to share a story with you guys. We are going to be meeting the CEO of Landmark Beach, which is the biggest beachfront in Lagos, Nigeria. I think it's the biggest beachfront in Nigeria currently. And then he's going to be sharing a story about building this beach and building this whole establishment that is currently behind me. So let's go meet up with him. Yeah, hello man.
Good morning. Hi Tyler. How are you?
Doing?
Very good.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Say hi to my
Hello,
my viewers.
How are you?
Here's Mr. Paul, who is the CEO of Landmark, and they are the owners of this establishment, the beachfront. You guys have so many things here.
We call it a mixed-use environment.
Mixed-use environment.
Live, work, and play.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, are you ready to share your story with us about how you built?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go.
I'll start from the very beginning.
Okay.
So I was born in London, in London, England. And at the age of 10, because my father was a diplomat, he wanted us to understand Nigeria. So I was sent to boarding school in Ijanikin, yes, in Federal Government College, Lagos, at the age of 10. So initially, obviously, my brother and I, we didn't like it, but after about 2-3 years, we really enjoyed the freedom, the people like us, and it was good fun. So spent the 5 years, went back to the UK, did my A-levels, came back to Nigeria to do my JAM, and went to University of Nigeria, read architecture, got interested in buildings and property, finished architecture, went back to the UK again, did my sort of professional qualifications. But I decided that I liked the business end of property. I then went to work with an entrepreneur, a guy called Mark Dixon. And I tell you something, if anybody tells you entrepreneurs are made, they're not, they're born. Because this guy was something else. I got my appetite for business then. At some stage, I said to myself, you know what, I want to do my own thing. So in my early 30s, dusted down my CV and my business plan and tried to create this thing called Landmark. So I did that in the UK, opened up offices in Spain, in Germany, in France, in Belgium. Over the next sort of 4 or 5 years, I realized the African property scene wasn't as developed as one would expect. So I thought, you know what, we need to play in the property market as well. So we got some land holdings. In 2007, I took a helicopter across Lagos and looked for a place that had potential, but hadn't yet been developed. And this is when I saw this area in Oniru.
So you saw all of this from up there?
I saw it from up there. It's a lot nicer from up there.
It's nicer from up there.
At least then. Saw it all from up there. So we dusted out the business plan and we said, you know what does Africa really need? We needed to find a way to create something, so there was a lot of crime at the time, there were infrastructure issues, there were resource issues. So we thought if you put everything in one place, then people wouldn't have to go anywhere. So that was the idea, is to create a business, leisure, and lifestyle destination. You know what they say, the opportunity of a lifetime can only be realized in the lifetime of that opportunity. Yeah. So if you wait too long, the same opportunity may be there, but it doesn't have the same makings of it.
UK is where everybody wants to run to. Why did you come back here to build your business?
Yeah, so, no matter how successful you are in the UK, no matter how long you've lived there, I mean, I think, and I can say the same for anywhere outside Africa, is you never really have that proper sense of identity. You always feel you're in a foreign land, in a foreign place. It's almost like leaving your house and visiting a friend and deciding to sleep there. You're never as comfortable in your friend's house as you are in yours. The second reason was because I did my secondary school here, a lot of my friends were here, right? And were coming back as well. So I felt I had better relationships and better contacts and a better platform to do something more satisfying and more gratifying. And for anybody out there, I tell you something, the most gratifying thing in the world, no matter how successful you are, right, is looking people in the eyes and changing people's lives, but people you can relate to and people that you know. That's a mixed-use tower. So on the downstairs, there's retail, then there are offices, there's a hotel, and there's residential, and there's a leisure deck, as you can see. So that was trying to prove our philosophy in one building. So after that, we built the proper event center. Then we built an extension to it. Then we built the retail boulevard, what we call our retail boulevard. And in that, it houses medical facilities, it houses an educational facility, shops, restaurants, bars, offices. Even CNN are in there.
So this place is just an ecosystem on its own. When you come here, you don't need to leave.
That's the idea, you don't need to leave. And by the time we finish, really in front of where we're standing, we're about to build a residential tower and a hotel.
Most times when people see stuff like this in Africa, they usually feel it's like some white guy that is behind it.
Europe and America they're not easier than Africa, by the way. They have their own challenges. They're just very different challenges. And we had some very strong challenges. So one of the things I made up my mind when coming to Africa, I said I wanted to create a business in Africa for Africans, run by Africans.
Wow.
Right? And that's what we do. We don't have any foreigners working for us. Everybody's African.
Talking about challenges, what are some of the challenges you've
Oh God.
It's a lot.
If I could change one thing in Nigeria, to be that environment, that enabling environment, I'll create the handshake between the public sector and the private sector, because, the leverage the public sector can give the private sector to grow businesses, in geometric proportions is immense, and they have to do very little things. From registering a company, in the UK, it takes you 7 minutes. Here it could take you 7 months. It's a little bit better now, but it's still taking you a long time. And someone tells you have to go to Abuja. Why do you have to go somewhere to do something, right? Exactly, right? The biggest challenge we faced here is before we put a stone in the ground, we had probably spent 20% of the money that we've used to develop this whole space. We probably spent 30% of the time as well. It took us 3 years to put the stone in the ground because it took us 2.5 years to get the first planning consent. Then you have infrastructure issues. So there are no roads, there's no water, there's no electricity. Can you imagine everybody has lights inside their house and there are no lights on the streets? Everybody has water in their house and there's no running water in the streets. The next issue is human resources. 1 in every 2 young people you meet are in a hurry, right? You require patience to build businesses. You require patience to do a good job, and you should always wait your turn.
So, how many people do you have hired, working on the Landmark?
All right, so we have different levels and structures. So in what I would call my core team, yes, I think there are about 80 people.
80 people? And that's not everybody?
No, that's not everybody. No. There are probably about 400 or 500.
500 people
in the support services as well, right?
Wow,
not
500 people working.
and there are probably about 2,000 to 3,000 people across the ecosystem. All the businesses generate. So there are 59 businesses in this ecosystem.
59 businesses?
Yeah, 59 businesses.
Wow.
I say to people, look, I see myself as a global citizen, right? Okay. But I'm Nigerian to the core, and Nigerian for the simple reason that I believe in Nigeria. And I don't describe myself as I'm from the west or the east or the north. I've been around the country. Most of my friends are from everywhere in Nigeria.
There's this phrase people say, Africa is the future. Yeah. What's your thought on that phrase? Do you believe Africa is the future?
Oh, without a shadow of doubt. If you look at everything, just look at how the cards are stacked. Look at the demographics. It has more young people than anywhere else. Yes, maybe with the exception of the Far East. Look at the strength and the rigor and the hard work and the ethic of Africans. Yeah, so when you see some of the bad stories, but when you see the good stories, the number of Africans that are prepared to work hard, they're intelligent, they're smart, they're creative, and they're aspirational. So you have that. Then you have land. I mean, you just have so much opportunity. I mean, you could sell sand or sell water and do well. So you have to be patient. Research your idea, think about it. If you thought about it, someone has done it before. So look at what they've done, right? So you don't have to make their mistakes. You can make your own mistakes, right? The second is resilience. Don't give up. You're going to meet a lot of challenges. Just be creative and resolve to be resilient, right? The third is passion. And you must have passion for what you do. Don't do something because you think it makes money. Do it because you like it, you enjoy it, and you want to change people's lives. Every single business, right, that's built on changing people's lives has been successful. So if you focus on something that changes people's lives and you're passionate about, you will do very well, right? And then lastly is success is a journey, it's not necessarily a destination. Tell yourself that you will do things the right way. You'll always do it the right way, no matter what the pressures are. Try to be honest. It's difficult. We're all human, and so I say this with a lot of caution. But I think honesty is something that you can't trade. So try to be honest all the time. Try to treat people the way you expect to be treated. And when you are successful, try to make sure that all the people around you are successful too. Because you know what they say, if you focus on making other people successful, you will be successful. And lastly, I have a saying on my wall in my office, and it says that if you want something you've never had, you've got to be prepared to do something you've never done. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for sharing your story with us. This was an amazing interview, and I'm sure a lot of people out there actually learned a lot from this. So guys, I'm going to link the pages of Landmark Africa in the description below, so you guys can come here and come and experience some of what he has built. This place is really amazing. You guys should check it out. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the
Olimili dike biale n'ọgbọ. Olimili dike biale n'ọgbọ go jembe wilo. Onye dịka nji wee bịaba n'ibe nwa akali amarụ. Natata ka mụrụ mmanwụ duma gana dike tete dike na-emile ka agụ mmanwụ njeje ọgụ dike ọgụ jembe wilo bịakeleli o. Ikuku ọbụla na-ekwu okirikiri na-agbachi agadi nwanyị ịmaja n'anya. Mbara akwụkwọ ọbụla na-eji ije n'onwere ife na-ebugharị nya mgbọsị amụrụ ewu n'ụwa ka o jere ije gba ọsọ walịa n'agha.